Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to. It is Wednesday, isn't it? Is it Wednesday? I hope it's Wednesday. Good morning and welcome. Beautiful day, as you can see. Beautiful sunny day in the south of England here. Eric's washing his feet. You right? Eric? You right? Yeah. He's sunbathing. This is his spot in the summer and the spring when the sun is shining. He sits out on the front, don't you? Sit out there, looking out, surveying your estate, waiting and watching for pigeons to bark at. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Jane. Yeah, that's Eric. Surveying his. Oh, he's going to move now. Just having a bit of a wander around. Got to get comfortable. And now all we can see is Eric's butt. So there you go. That was Eric. Let's do that. There we go. Let's get rid of that. There we are. A bit of Eric Cam first thing in the morning. It's a bit sunny down there. Good morning, Janet. Good morning, Karen. Glad you remembered. Good morning, Emma. Good morning, Charlie. Can hear the birds. Yes. Yeah, got the doors to the garden open. It is a very beautiful day out there today. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Kerry. Good morning, Mary Ann. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me and remembering that it's Wednesday. And, it is a beautiful day today. The sun is shining. It's making me squint. Birds are singing. Yeah, bird food's all right. Just check the levels. Good morning, Sue. Welcome to Wednesday and magical food today. One of my very favourite subjects. But hopefully some unusual foods you might not have thought of or might not have thought of working with or how to work with them. You right there? Yeah, we're all right. Good morning, Hannah. Welcome to Wednesday and magical food. Bless you. Welcome to hay fever. It is very hay fevery. Good morning, Andrea. Good morning, Kay. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, beautifully sunny here. Blue sky, a little bit of cloud, a little bit of breeze. The garden is beginning to look amazing. Everything is coming alive. The snails are eating everything. I'm laughing, but quite a few of my herbs have taken a battering and their heucheras have been demolished. The lupin, I think Pete took about 7 snails off of it last night. So the snails are having fun too. Good morning, Trudy. Yes, birds are singing in the garden. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Hayley. Yeah, we do get a lot of birds. I put out food, obviously, various types of food for them. Lots of sparrows. We've got a pair of nesting blackbirds that nest in next door's garden. What else? We've got thrushes on occasion, starlings as soon as we put the fat walls out. Pigeons, lots of pigeons, a couple of doves. We've had a magpie in the last couple of weeks. We get seagulls flying over, but they don't land in the garden. And cats. There was a cat in the garden yesterday that caused Eric to do a complete wall of death around the garden, chasing it. It was like a Tom and Jerry scene. It was mad. There you go. That's nature doing its thing. Good morning, Colin. Karen, we planted marigolds. Next day, all the heads were gone. Oh, we've done that. Yes. You come out the next day and all you've got left is lots of stalks. The slugs and snails do seem to like marigolds. Karen has nesting magpies. Excellent. There's a house a couple of doors down that's got a kind of broken down garage, and I think there's a nesting pair in there. Janet has blue jays. We get all the little birds, but we don't even very often get anything other than sparrows. I don't mind. I like the sparrows. I do put out other stuff just in case, but they're all in the tree at the moment. There's a holly tree next door that's right behind their bird feeders, and they all sit in there. Bless them. Bless them. So I thought today we might do magical food. It is one of my favourite things to work with. Just as you work with magical herbs, I work with magical food as well. Morning, Maria, on the big screen. Oh. Yeah, I probably work with magical food ingredients just as much as I work with herbs. I kind of work with whatever I've got to hand. So if I need something and I don't have fancy ingredients or fancy herbs, I just grab stuff from the kitchen cupboard to see. Jane, we have a magpie who it's got covered up by something else. Hang on, notifications coming in, covering everything up. Have a magpie who eats the cat food we leave out. Ginny Tripod. Is that a cat's name? Guessing she only has 3 legs. Okay, we have blue tits nesting in the nesting box and robins in our shed. So grateful. Oh, fantastic. We have blue tits occasionally. Good morning from Germany. Good morning, Germany. It's like the Eurovision. I'll give points. You don't want points for my singing, no. So I thought we'd have a look at some magic food today and how we work with them. Things like oats, rice, flour, anything that absorbs, I use in witch bottles. Uncooked, obviously, because it absorbs liquid. To me, it absorbs negative energy. So I do use that in witch bottles, and I do use them in spell pouches as well. Quite often roll candles in things as well. I've rolled candles in coffee, instant coffee, in salt. Careful because it does spark. Ground up porridge oats, I've rolled candles in as well. So you can use them the same as you would use any of your dried herbs. Good morning, Paul. They have just as many magical properties as the herbs, and can be used in pretty much the same ways. But obviously you can also eat them to take on the magical properties. Let's get these. Maria, quick question. Bought mint which appears to be eaten by something. What can I use on it to stop them? Yes, I've got a lemon verbena that's almost just a stalk left. Just looking. My mint seems all right, but the sage, something's been having a go at the sage. I can't see anything on them, so I'm guessing that it's either little flies or it's caterpillars of some sort. I just let them get on with it. Sometimes they decimate the whole plant. Sometimes you're lucky. If you want to use something, then mild, my brain's gone, mild washing up liquid, that's the word, a mild dilution of washing up liquid and water in a spray bottle should get rid of things. My dad uses that all the time for green fly and black fly. So that should work. Just a drop of washing up liquid in your bottle with water, give it a shake, spray it on the leaves, and that should help get rid of it. Good morning, Gillian. Sorry, just watching the dog. There'll be a bark at some point when a pigeon appears in the garden. So that's kind of today's subject. If you've got any questions or do you use food for magical purpose? Do you eat it? Do you work with it in your spells? Is there something specific that's your go-to? And I'll start with a couple of my go-tos. I use honey a lot to eat because it's delicious, but I use honey a lot in spells. And I'm sure you've seen me talk about this before, but I'll go over it just in case. Jar spells are brilliant to work with. Actually, jars or tins, you can do the same. When you've just got a little bit left in the bottom and you're about to throw the jar out, although we're witches, so we don't tend to throw jars out. We tend to wash them and put them in the cupboard and leave them forever. Or is that just me? If you've got a scrap left in the bottom, I do it with honey jars, I do it with jam jars, pickle jars, peanut butter. Don't wash it. Keep the dregs in the bottom and then use that as your base for a spell. So leave the dregs in the bottom of the honey jar and then you can add to it. Add your other ingredients for your spell to it, and then you have created a spell in a jar. Not only has it got the remnants of the ingredient inside for magical properties, but the whole jar itself is imbued with the magic of that ingredient. You can also set the magic in motion by popping a candle on the top. Melt a bit of wax and put the candle on the top. You can burn the candle to set your spell in motion. You can even drop petitions inside the jar as well, but you can add all sorts of other ingredients to it to add to the energy of your spell. Honey is one of the most ancient foods, and apparently it never goes off. It doesn't last long enough in my house to test that out, but apparently they found honey that's hundreds, thousands of years old, and it's still good to eat. So it is obviously connected to bees, so it carries their magic as well. Honey is sacred to many gods, including the Egyptian god Ra, Greek goddess Artemis and Demeter, and the Hindu gods Vishnu and Krishna. It's very medicinal, so it brings a good dollop of happiness with it as well, and healing. Can be added to any spell work or recipe to sweeten someone's mood or to improve their disposition. Also, it makes a good offering to the gods, to the spirits, or to the world of fairy. I often add a drop of honey to incense blends as well, to sweeten the blend, to bring a bit of happiness, a bit of sunshine to it. It works for happiness, love, prosperity, and healing. I mean, the bees have such a history. They're great listeners. They need to know all of the gossip. So I think it kind of follows that if you want to work any magic to find the truth of something, or to even to protect against gossip, it would work as well, actually. Anything important should be told to the bees. Bees are also considered to be an image of the human soul. I think it's possibly due to their ability to find their way home, no matter whatever the distance. My soul in a honeybee would get lost. Absolutely. And of course, honey is used to make mead, which is very important. I'm such a lightweight, half a glass of mead and I'm away with the fairies. If you read the Terry Pratchett Discworld novels, Granny Weatherwax keeps bees and she tells them everything. So honey, happiness, healing, love, prosperity, bit of passion in there as well, spirituality, because bees have a very strong connection to the other world as well, and fairy magic, element of water and earth, and it is a feminine energy as well. Really, really useful to eat, to work with magic, to use the jar in jar spells. Really, really useful. Let's get some of these. Hayley loves a honey jar, yeah. Me too. Oh, here we go. Jane. Rosemary beetles eat sage, or their larvae do. The beetles look like metallic green ladybirds. Pick them off and chuck them as far away as you can. After flying back a few times, they'll be too tired to breed. Love it. Well, have a look. Thank you. I have got some holes in my sage leaves. It is delicious, Maria. I do love honey. It's fab. Hannah. When thinking of magical animals, does their magical meaning transfer when eaten? Yes. Yes. So if we look at something like, don't laugh, I've got a tin of spam. I think it is revolting. I even hate the smell of it. There's not much I don't eat. I do not eat spam. But everyone else in the house loves spam. So I have made sweet and sour spam, spam pizzas, spam bolognese, all sorts of spam things. And if you're a Monty Python fan, then obviously you know the song. Why they still put it in this bizarre tin that's so difficult to open, I don't know. But anyway, So yes, if you look at a tin of Spam, it is made with little piggies. I apologise to all the vegans, but I'm not going to show you any of the actual things. They're all it's in tins. I'm trying to look up Spam in the book now. It's not under Spam, is it? It's going to be a long day. So, Spam is made from pork. I love pigs. Lived and worked on a pig farm in my youth. My main animal guide is a wild boar, so I have a very strong connection to pigs. They are beautiful and intelligent creatures. They're also seriously grumpy. Oh, hello, set the kettle. I hear it. I am. Throughout history, pork has been the meat of the poor man, the commoner, if you will. So I think it has a great amount of determination and strength to it. Goddess Demeter kept a sacred pig, which became a symbol of fertility. Indigenous peoples of America believe the pig to be a symbol of abundance and to be thankful for what life brings us. The pig actually appears in many cultures as a symbol of luck and prosperity. And the Celtic sea god Manannan, that's the word that goes on and on and on like bananas, had a herd of, I can't speak today, had a herd of magical pigs. When eaten, they imparted renewing qualities. So pork has strength, fertility, prosperity, luck, longevity. It's the element of fire and the gender is masculine. So yes, the meat will carry the energy of the animal that it comes from. I do eat meat, but I eat it very mindful. I'm very, very conscious of the sources of where the meat comes from. I would never in a million years eat battery farm eggs. I like to know where the meat comes from. We do buy our meat direct from the farm. So I am very conscious of it. And if I do something like, if you cook a chicken, make sure you use all of the chicken. You eat the meat, you use the bones to boil up to make stock for soup. You can
get Spam direct from the farm?
We don't get the Spam direct from the farm. No, there's not a Spam farm.
Ah, right. Okay. Should be.
Little baby Spams running around.
You little Spams?
Spamettes. Oh, there's lots of Spam jokes. But yes, if you've got the bones of the animal, you can clean the bones up and use them to make divination sets. If you're feeling really powerful, you can grind them up and use them in spell working. Or you can use them just to connect and on the animal. So, yes, in answer, a very long answer to your question, Hannah, and the answer is yes. Grella, yes, jars, small, big jars everywhere. Yeah. Hi, Angela. Colin has honey on his porridge. Oh, yeah. Honey or brown sugar on your porridge. Yeah. What have we got now? Pigeon? It's a sparrow. There might be lots of barking today. Jane, I did a honey spell last night to sweeten up someone who's spoiling things in our physical mediumship circle. He's gone in free. Good place for him. Jane, bees get cross if they're not kept in the loop. Absolutely. There's so much history and folklore about bees. They do. They need to be told everything. Good morning, Beverly. Maria, I reckon Terry Pratchett was rich. He definitely had some pagan leanings. Absolutely. Colin says Spam fritters. You up for that?
Oh, yeah, nice. Dilutes the flavour a bit.
Dilutes the flavour,
yeah,
right? Okay, yeah. Maria hates those days I can't speak. That's usually every day, though. Yeah, it's usually get me in front of a camera. That's what it is. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Steve. Jane, please put a tea towel over the cake saver behind you. It's making me desire cake and bathwater. Oh, it's nearly all gone. That was a Victoria sponge from the coronation at the weekend. It's nearly all gone. Oh, there's a few chocolate brownies there. You want, Jane? Bit of a permanent fixture in our house, those two cake savers. Yeah, Colin. Monty Python, Spams, definitely. Jackie, we too check the provenance of our meat, and if we can't afford it that week, then we don't have it. We are lucky to have a great local butcher who knows the provenance of all his meat. I think that's quite important. We do have a couple of local butchers, but they do seem to import quite a lot of their meat, which is a bit sad. In lockdown, I found a farm in Devon that gets all of their meat locally. They support all of their local farmers, and they ship it out frozen, and I just fill up my freezer with it. So it's all local farmers, all properly looked after. Very good. Yeah, I don't get the let's not even go there. Okay, when I last cooked chicken, I found I was drawn to keep the wishbone and dry. What's the best way to use it? The wishbone is all about wishes, obviously, isn't it? Chicken itself, let's have a look. Chicken. Obviously, a lot of healing. Think about the idea that chicken soup is well known for its healing and restorative properties. Chicken was often sacrificed to the gods by the Romans, and it is still done in some religious practices today. The chicken symbolises personal sacrifice too. Now, whilst I'm not into the whole sacrifice thing particularly, what I do know... Has it got any spam?
No, you're not having one. No, spam free.
I don't want it if it's got
spam free latte. Spam latte.
Spam latte? No, that's nasty.
Spam latte, smart.
Back to chicken sacrifice. What I do know, the little I do now, particularly in the Santeria type religions in voodoo, when they sacrifice a chicken, they make sure the whole of the animal is used. Quite often they will eat it afterwards, or it will all be used for magical purpose. So not that I do it, I do not. But I think with that comes the idea of personal sacrifice, of giving up something. That to me is what chicken symbolises anyway. Apparently grain was also can also be scattered on the ground. Chickens are allowed... Will you stop? And chickens are allowed to peck at it, which helps you use it for divination. Eric, that's enough. It's just letting the world know. Chicken bones are also really useful to put into spell pouches. They can be used for money drawing, for prosperity, for fertility. Eggs, obviously, big fertility symbol. But I do believe that the bones of each animal will hold the energy of that animal. So chicken for me would be healing, divination, prosperity, luck, or fertility. It's the element of fire and it carries a big feminine energy. But I would say with the wishbone, it is about wishes. I would use it as lucky charm. I would use it. You could make a spell pouch for wishes, using that as the center of it. You could make a fetish, so you could tie feathers, herbs, threads, anything that you feel drawn to, tie that to the wishbone and imbue it with the energy of wishes, of good luck. I would definitely make it into a charm, but it's your wishbone. Sit with it, hold it, connect with the energies of it, and find out what it can help you with and what it needs you to do for it. Speak to it. Talk to your chicken wishbone. Anybody coming in at this point will think we're completely bonkers. But yes, I would definitely connect with the energy and find out what it needs you to do with it. Maria, you can get spam fritters from Iceland. I'm not even going to answer that one, Maria. Hannah, do sweet peppers all have the same magical meaning, or will the different colours vary the meaning? Good question. We call them bell peppers. Americans call them sweet peppers. They're the same thing. Did you know they're male and female? Let me get this right. If you turn a bell pepper upside down, it has bumps. Now, it'll either have 3 or 4 bumps. Can't remember which one's masculine or feminine. I think the feminine one has got 4 bumps and the masculine one's got 3 bumps. So something like that. Just a useless piece of information for you. Peppers for me carry the whole pepper family carries the same energies. I'm just looking it up and can't find it. Because it's under chilies, that's why. Chilies and peppers all come under the same, even if they're sweet. But again, connect with the energy of it to find out what it can do. This is the same with herbs or magical ingredients or anything that you're working with, crystals, whatever it is. Connect with the energy of it. Jackie thought you said the pepper had bums. Well, it does actually. That's pretty much what it has. I have got one in the fridge. I'll have a look in a sec. Yeah, that has bumps, doesn't it? It has bumps on the bottom, and it'll have 3 or it'll have 4, and it will determine whether it's a feminine or masculine from the plant. I don't make these things up, you know. But yes, peppers, sweet peppers come under the same energy as chili peppers. They are all part of the similar family, so they bring similar energies. Peppers bring creativity, energy, power, protection. They've got kind of a fiery energy to them, very masculine energy as well. But yes, I would go with the different colours too. They are at different stages. They're green, yellow or red, depending on how they've ripened. I don't very often buy the green peppers, I must admit, because they are slightly more bitter than the red on the yellow one. Sorry, magpie. Morning magpie. So yes, I would go with the colours as well. Depends what you associate with colour magic. But red for me is passion, it's energy, it's power, it's strength. Green would work really well for prosperity. Yellow's happiness. It's how you associate them. But yes, absolutely. You can go. The core meaning is the same, but if you're working with colour magic, yes, you can absolutely bring it in. Morning, Mitch. Colin, what do you have on the parson's nose? Isn't that a funny term, isn't it, for the end bit of the chicken? It would carry the energy of the chicken. Jackie, we're a bit late for what's with the spam. Working magic with it. Working magic with food. So you can, we talked about the energy, magic properties of pork, which is, it's got a lot of fertility energy to it, strength, determination. But you can work magic with it. You can have a spam spell. You can eat any of these things to bring the magical energy, or you can use them as representations in the spell. You could have a chunk of spam in the middle of your spell and work your spell around it because it brings the energy. But I like to work with the tins. So I would give the spam away because it's revolting. Pete would eat all the spam. And then I would use the tin because the tin still carries the energy of the pork that was in it. So I would then use the tin as a spell pouch and I would layer up other ingredients into the tin to create my spell. It's like making a witch's bottle or a spell pouch, but you use the tin and it carries the energy of the hand. Morning, Debbie. Yeah, peppers do have bums. Yeah. Maria, you can use colour magic with all foods. Absolutely. Fruits, vegetables, anything. Go with the colour of them. Good morning, Kerry. Emma, love me some cheese. My Emma loves cheese too. Maybe it's the name. My daughter Emma is a real cheese monster. So cheese is another ancient food. Not that mouldy old lump of cheddar in the back of your fridge, but cheese in general. Pots used for separating curds have been found dating back to 6000 BC. Quite old then. Cheese is sacred to the Greek god Apollo and symbolises everything coming together and a successful outcome. You can add cheese to your cooking, just because cheese makes everything better, but it brings a positive energy in. Brilliant to use in ritual for feasting. If you're feeling inventive, you could even cut your cheese into moon shapes if you felt like it, but seriously, no one has time for that. The old wives' tale of cheese giving you nightmares stems back to the stories about hags appearing in the night and being hag-ridden, i.e. having nightmares. A lot of these stories included the consumption of cheese, the hag offering the unsuspecting person cheese and then turning them into beasts of burden. So don't eat cheese before you go to bed because of the hags. Love it. Love folklore. Cheese itself, it's about success. It's about happiness. It's about positive energy. I think for me, because milk is so nurturing too, cheese brings that kind of nurturing, comfort kind of energy with it as well. It is ruled by the planet of Saturn. It is the element of earth and air, and it is a masculine energy. So cheese, Emma, success, happiness, positive energy. Jane, pepper colours can be used like other colour correspondences. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, for the days. Yellow for Sunday, red for Tuesday, orange for Wednesday, green for Friday, and all that goes with it. Yeah, tie them in with the days too. Like it. Debbie likes the yellow ones. It's funny, isn't it? We are drawn to things like that, isn't it? If pork is for fertility, is it a verb and not a noun? I know where you're going with that one, Jane. Yes. Absolutely. Colin, spam and corned beef used to be cheap, but not anymore. Food's not cheap anymore, is it? Hannah, have your spell for food abundance, as I'm a bit like, Mother Hubbard at the moment, but nothing in your cupboards. Yeah, food's expensive at the moment. It really is. Let's have a look at abundance foods that we can start with. Let's have a look. I'm looking at this one, by the way. I'm not just looking at my feet. Abundance. I'm not with it today. Honestly, brain is gone completely. Keep turning the page. We'll get it right. Okay, so foods that bring abundance, prosperity, wealth. Almonds, apples. If you know, apples quite cheap and easy to get hold of. Aubergines, yuck. Banana, basil. Actually, basil is my go-to herb for prosperity. Basil or mint. Pop a bit of basil or mint into your purse to keep the money coming in. Beans, any beans. I've got a tin of beans here. Tin of beans. Baked bean tin. That's cheap, isn't it? Baked bean tin. Eat the beans and use the baked bean tin for your prosperity spell. Beans on toast. Nice. Don't wash the tin out. Leave the dregs of the bean in there and the sauce in there, because baked beans, you get the prosperity, abundance energy of beans, and you get the energy of the tomato as well. Although probably not a huge amount of real tomatoes. Oh yeah, look at that. 45% haricot beans, 32% tomatoes. I'm shocked. So use the tin as your spell container. Work with the energy of the beans, work with the energy of tomatoes. And then you can write a petition, draw a sigil on a piece of paper, pop that in there as well. You can add other prosperity things, so a pinch of mint, pinch of basil. What else have we got here? Brazil nuts. Actually, most of the nuts kind of carry a prosperity energy with them. Cabbage, chicken, prosperity. Chocolate, bit of chocolate in there. Cloves, coriander, corn, cumin, ginger, honey. Drop honey in there too. What else have we got? Nutmeg. Oats. Oats are really good for prosperity. Got some porridge oats. Chuck some porridge oats in there as well. They're really good for prosperity and abundance. Poppy seeds. Poppy seeds are another one. Anything that's really tiny seeds, poppy seeds, sesame seeds, really good for abundance and bringing the money in. Potato. Rice. Rice is another one, like the seeds. Anything like that is prosperity. It's money. There's lots of them. They're all tiny and there's lots of them. So it represents lots of money and prosperity. And tea. Your good old tea bag. You can use the tea bag as it is, or you can open it up and tip out the tea leaves. But you can make yourself a prosperity spell with the empty baked bean tin, because you're bringing in the energy of beans, which is very prosperity laden, and tomato, which brings a creative, passion, love kind of energy with it as well, which boosts the prosperity energy of the beans. So there you go. Baked bean tin prosperity spell. Let us know how you get on with that one, Hannah. Thank you, Angela. 4 bumps, female, 3 male. I remember it in my head. Female, head, boobs and womb. Fertility, pregnancy bump. 4 bumps, male, 2 testicles and a dodge, 3 bumps. Unconventional way to remember it, but yeah. I'm going to get one now. I'm going to go and get a pepper. Talk amongst yourselves or listen to Eric Barr. No, I just needed a pepper.
I just shouted.
That's all right. Right, pepper. There you go. There's the bumps or the bums. So that one's got 3. It's also got a little addition though. That one's got 3, so it's a male pepper. I only found that out recently. It's just one of those things that you learn. Jackie, I'm growing goth peppers, apparently dark chocolate colour, so it'd be an interesting colour for spell, but nice. I've got some, we think we've eaten them all. We had some really dark chocolatey brown tomatoes in our tomato delivery this week. Fascinating. Jane, oh, you could do Saturday spells with them. Yeah. Beans, peas as well, Maria. Yeah, peas would be good for prosperity. Emma, would honeydew melon have similar properties to the sweetness of actual honey or something completely different? Let's have a look at melon. It's in here somewhere. Melon. Right. Oh, I love the name of the family. The melon family is the Cucurbitaceae family. So there's a name and a half. So you can eat it, obviously, to imbue the magical properties. I wouldn't necessarily work with the melon flesh in spell pouches or witch bottles. I would save the seeds and dry the seeds and work with that for the melon energy. Apparently, during the Middle Ages, melons were regarded with great suspicion. Eating one would make you more vulnerable to the plague, or so they said. It's just really. Watermelon is one of the oldest varieties of melon and is sacred to the Egyptian god of disorder, Set. Melon represents chaos. There you go. It does work for healing and cleansing magic, and it also works well for the magical energy of that love thing. I'm not going to mention anything at all about melons representing lady bumps. Melon brings love, chaos, healing, and purification. It's ruled by the planet Moon, and it is the element of water and feminine. It has got that whole energy, feminine, watery, emotion, moon kind of stuff going on. So that's melon. Not particularly on the sweet side. It brings love, chaos, healing, and purification. Although honey brings healing too. So different energy for that one, Emma. Jane, all these containers that can potentially become spells. Imagine having to clear out the hoarder next door's place if they happen to be a witch. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So I work with honey jars quite a lot. The other one I work quite a lot with is peanut butter. Peanut butter jar. Peanuts, very, very masculine energy, the old peanut. Bizarre thing, grows under the ground. Very nice. My body doesn't like peanuts very much, but peanut or groundnut is actually a member of the legume family, which is beans, because it grows under the ground. After the flower is pollinated, the flower stalk bends to touch the ground, and the continued growth of the stalk pushes it under the ground, where the fruit develops into the peanut pod. There you go. Huge male energy. It is total He-Man, kick sand in your face, bodybuilder kind of energy. So if you need that kind of power, big punch of energy, then peanut butter or peanuts that's what it brings. And it brings it to any spell work as well. if you need a bit of courage, if you need a bit of kind of grr energy, have yourself a spoonful of peanut butter before you go. But you can add it or peanuts to your magic. Now, with the peanuts themselves, I eat the peanuts and save the shells. So I'll use the shells for magic. They keep for ages. You can grind them up easily and you can add them to all kinds of spell work. And they bring the same energy as peanut, as does peanut butter. Peanut butter can also increase the size of your wallet. Pay attention. Peanut butter can be eaten for abundance too. So it is masculine energy, but it is all about prosperity. So if you've got your baked bean tin spell for prosperity, add a dollop of peanut butter, and that will not only give it a prosperity boost, but it'll give it a whole power, energy, let's get this thing moving kind of boost. But again, I do the same with the jars for peanuts as I do with the honey jars. Wait till the scraping's in the bottom, and then I'll make a prosperity spell with it, or a power strength kind of spell. Yes, if someone was cleaning out the houses of witches with all these jars filled with spells, it would be bizarre, wouldn't it? Charlie, how do you send the cheese hag your address? Can you specify what cheese you want? I think you have to eat the cheese. Oh no, she would offer it to you, wouldn't she? Yeah. Oh yeah, because if they offered me a bit of Stilton, I wouldn't be interested. But a cheddar, yeah, beast of burden, here I come. Oh, Angela, yes, lots of people are allergic to nuts, aren't they? It's one of those things. Emma, I'm thinking that Popeye ate spinach for a good reason other than strength. Maybe it was a secret which could well have been. Spinach is full of iron. I think that's where they got the idea from. So I also want to talk about tea bags. Whether this is just a normal black tea bag. So tea has magical properties. Just your ordinary cup of tea has very magical properties. It's very good for divination, obviously, because you read tea leaves. Ruled by the sun and the element of fire. So it has got a real powerful punch of magical energy. Drink tea before meditation. It helps you relax. It helps let go of your worries, and it helps put you into a kind of open to the psychic abilities kind of space. I think tea also brings courage, strength, and prosperity. Tea is very British. It's the whole, doesn't matter what's happening. Had a breakup, have a cup of tea. Your leg's fallen off, don't worry, I'll make you a cup of tea. Ragnarok, don't worry, I'll make you a cup of tea. It's a very British thing. So tea brings a lot of confidence and courage with it, and it brings strength, but it's also very good for prosperity as well. That comes from the kind of sun, fiery energy, I think. But very good to drink before meditation as well. But you can also use the tea leaves. You don't drink them. You can use the tea in magical workings. Just open the tea bag and tip the tea leaves into whatever you're doing. Incense blend, spell pouch, witch bottle, whatever it might be. Just use your tea bags. And then your herbal tea. Oh, it's empty. That's rude. Your herbal tea bag. It is empty. Okay, that's another box for spell working. Herbal teas. Peppermint tea is quite nice. So if you want dried herbs and you don't have any peppermint, you can empty a tea bag, use it in your spell working, however you want to work with it. But herbal tea bags also work really well for floor washes and surface washes. If you want to give your kitchen floor, your window sills, your doorstep a cleansing spiritual wash, chuck a herbal tea bag in the bucket of water, and the herb will bring with it the magical properties that it has. So a peppermint tea bag chucked in your floor wash will bring a cleansing energy, protective energy. It just freshens, lightens, brightens up, and brings that kind of energy with it. But you can use all kinds of herbal tea bags, particularly those herbal tea blends that you thought, oh, I'll buy that, and it's disgusting, like chamomile. You can use the tea bags in magical workings. Don't throw them away. You can use them in magical workings, or you can use them for floor washes. Now this box is empty. So this box carries the energy of peppermint. So I can use it to fill with my petition, with other ingredients. Obviously not sloppy things like honey, because it would run out the bottom. But there's a little bag inside here. So you could put other herbs in, other ingredients, magical ingredients, crystal chips, twigs, leaves, whatever you want for your spell working. But that makes another spell pouch, and it brings with it the energy of peppermint, which is definitely cleansing. It's prosperity as well. Turn the page. What else have we got for peppermint? Oh, it's under mint. There we go. Here we go. Uplifting and positive. Can also be used in travel spells, so it's really good for bringing travel protection. It's very cooling, so it can be used in a spell to calm down or cool down a situation. Good for calm and restful sleep. Keeps the money coming in. And it also protects against negative energy. So you can sprinkle peppermint leaves around your property as a kind of protection boundary. So mint is money, healing, exorcism, protection, cleansing, and calming. Ruled by Mercury and Venus, it's the element of air because it's got that kind of cleansing scent to it, and it's a masculine energy. But yeah, box all ready for you to make a spell container out of it. Right, let's keep going up here. Jane, eat cheese and chocolate at bedtime for crazy dreams, much cheaper than the cinema. Yeah, absolutely. Hannah, magic of milk. So milk to me is very nurturing. It will depend a little bit on what type of milk. If it is cow's milk or goat's milk or camel milk, it will take with it the energy of the actual animal. But let's go with the basic. Here we go. Milk comes from cows, sheep, goats, yaks. Yeah, Well, I don't think my local shop sells yak milk, but you don't know. It comes in all sorts of varieties as well. Pete likes the skimmed milk that doesn't, it's just white water, doesn't taste of milk. When I lived on the farm, we used to go down to the dairy and take a big jug and scoop out milk while it was still warm from the vat with all the fat and the goodness in it. Yum. Probably can't do that now because of health and safety. However, it brings lots of feminine energy. It's got a really strong goddess energy to it. Very nurturing, ruled by the moon, so you've got that energy into it as well. Really good for offerings, for libations during ritual. Very good to leave for tree spirits, for fairies. They like a drop of milk with a bit of honey. Lots of the goddesses, milk is sacred to lots of the goddesses. Isis, Hathor, Zeus, he's the god, obviously. And it will bring the slight energy of the animal that it came from. But in general, cow milk, feminine power, goddess energy, moon magic, nurturing, offerings, love, spirituality, and fairies. Ruled by the moon, and it's a water feminine energy. So nice one to work with. Obviously, with the other milks, oat milk, almond milk, they will carry the energies of that ingredient instead. Keep calm and drink tea. Oh, I've got coffee, is that right? Coffee, clarity, focus, power of speech. I often add a pinch of coffee granules to a spell to give it a boost because it's got that oomph to it. Yes, Hannah, drop herbal tea bags in the bath. Yes, makes a very nice ritual bath. Okay, when you have created a spell jar or spell tin, hopefully when it's worked, how would you dispose of it? Good question. So if I'm using a package like this one and the ingredients inside it are all herbs or biodegradable, you could chuck it on the compost bin. I might with this one, because it's got a little package inside it, bag inside it, I would put all the ingredients in the bag, and then I could just dispose of the bag in the trash and put that in the recycling. Same with most other spells, really. Think about what the items are and whether they're biodegradable. If they can go on the compost, chuck them on the compost. Otherwise, in the bin with them would probably be the least messiest option. If you've got something like this, which is cardboard, and you put biodegradable ingredients in, if you are drawn to, you could bury the spell as well. So long as it's going to break down and not cause any problem to the soil, you could bury it if that's what you feel drawn to as well. But in the trash is usually, once it's done its thing. My witch jars that I have in the house, I have a couple of witch jars in the house to absorb negative energy and to bring positive energy in. I actually empty the contents of those into the compost. And then I cleanse the jar and I reuse the jar. But for something like a honey spell or where I've used the peanut butter jar, I would usually just throw it in the trash. But, you'd be drawn, you'll know. Check with the energy of it and see. Janet. Hoarders had a show where the woman collected dirt from her sweeper and stored it in jars. She thought the evil spirits in the house would stay trapped forever. It's a kind of bizarre logic. There is a kind of bizarre logic. Am I bonkers, or does that actually make sense to me? Not that I'm going to do it, though. Not that I'm going to do it. Debbie, drink mugwort tea too. I don't mind some of the herbal teas. I do drink peppermint tea. I like peppermint tea. I like licorice tea. I like fennel tea. I've got some very nice Turkish raspberry tea at the moment. But no, mugwort, chamomile. It tastes like grass. But yeah, it's probably very good for you. Jackie, you can buy raw milk. Oh, perfect. My milk comes from the milkman. Not literally from the milkman, but my milkman delivers our milk. Jane, herbal tea bags can be brewed with an ordinary tea bag to achieve something that still tastes a bit like tea, enough for 2 cups. Okay, so you would bring in the magic of the herbal tea bag, but the flavour of ordinary tea. That makes sense. That's a good idea. In actual fact, I don't drink normal tea. I don't really like it very much. These tea bags are Pete's. But what I do like is chai. I like a chai latte. I have got, let's grab it. See, this is why I'm in the kitchen, so that I can grab things. One of my favourite drinks is a chai latte. Let's try not to fall off the chair. Is a chai latte. Spiced chai latte. Yum, is all I can say. This has got lots of bizarre things in it, but generally the idea of chai, you can make your own as well. There's an ingredient in my cookbook for that. Black tea, cinnamon, ginger, cloves, cardamom, yum. Spiced chai, and you bring in all of those different flavours with the magic of the black tea. You're bringing in those other cinnamon kind of spicy flavours, so you can make a real magical blend. Like the idea of mixing the tea bags together, though. That's a good idea. Jane, I read recently that freezer spells can be rebooted by just taking them out of the freezer, letting them thaw, then putting them back in the freezer to do their work again. Yeah, that makes sense too. I think I would be tempted to rewrite it because you put renewed energy into it rather than just reusing. But yes, it's being drawn to do what you feel is right, isn't it, with any of these spells? But yeah, absolutely. That's it, Hannah, isn't it? Love the smell of herbal teas, cannot drink them. They all smell lovely. They all taste like someone swept up the floor of the warehouse and tipped it into the tea bag. Yeah, it's about checking the ingredients. We've got a very lovely international supermarket near us, so that's where these came from. And they are 100% pure natural peppermint leaves. Nothing else in them. That's it. But if you do buy some of them, big brand ones that you buy in the supermarket, they've got all sorts of other things added to them. that have nothing to do with the actual supposed flavour. So check the ingredients. Colin, I like lemon tea. Use ordinary tea and a slice of lemon. Yeah, my mum used to do that with Earl Grey tea and a slice of lemon. That's Jean-Luc Picard, isn't it? Earl Grey, hot. I don't like Earl Grey tea, it tastes perfume. But yes, lemon tea. Actually, I've got some Turkish lemon tea as well, which is very nice. Lemons bring their own whole magic as well. Dash of lemon juice. Lemons are really good, actually all the citrus fruits. You use the actual flesh. Yeah, that's right. The actual lemon bits in whatever you're making. Lemon drizzle cake, obviously, that kind of thing. Save the pips and save the peel. The peel can be dried in a very low oven, and it can be used then to grind up to make sachet powder. It can be used in incense blends. It can be used in spell pouches. Dry the seeds. They can be popped into spell workings of all kinds. So you get to eat the actual fruit, but you save the peel and the pips. So lemon is purification, moon magic, happiness, decisions, uplifting, love, protection, friendship, fidelity, ruled by the moon, element of water and feminine. So lots of moon magic type energy to a lemon. Debbie, does make sense, but I think I would take the contents and bury them somewhere else and not store them. Yes, otherwise you've got a cupboard full of evil spirits, haven't you? I just thought you could then do something else with them then, but my mind went to a very dark place then. Anyway, moving swiftly onwards, Jane, I empty my Henry bag and handheld vax into the box under the shredder, and the whole lot goes in the compost. Yeah. Nothing's wasted here, and the negativity from the sweepings literally goes back into the earth. Yes, brilliant if you've got a compost. Very, very good idea. I have some issue drinking teas, upsets my tummy, the shop bought once, because of all the other stuff they add into it. So I've started making my own. It worked. No more poorly tea tummy. This is, check the ingredients, because quite a lot of those big brand ones put in all sorts of stuff. It's worth checking. It is worth checking. Jackie, if you're using herbs, fresh or dried for medicine, it's suspected to make you go yuck. Yeah, so far removed from the box stuff in the supermarket. Yeah, I think we're used to the old strawberry flavoured cowpole that I used to give the kids, aren't we? Medicine isn't meant to be nice. But you can always add a teaspoon of honey. It is, you know, a teaspoon of honey, always. Yeah, it is almost the sweepings that go into the tea bags, which is why us herbalists use the leaves, flowers, barks, roots, etc., carefully dried or used fresh in season. Yeah, it's checking the ingredients and checking your sources as well, isn't it? If you're going to buy it cheap from the supermarket, then it is probably going to have fillers in it. Check the ingredients. Jane, I was always told the worst medicine tastes, the more good it's doing. Yeah, it's probably right, isn't it? Karen, I've got some olive stones from last night. What would they be good for? Oh yes, keep them. I have boxes of nut shells and peach pits and cherry stones and lemon pips, because it's all good for magic. Save it, use it all. Olive. I must admit, olives are not a big favourite. I do think they taste of perfume, but anyway, they are a very spiritual fruit. They represent your spiritual goals as well as integrity. The olive was sacred to the Egyptian solar god Aten. The cross of Jesus was also apparently made from olive wood. Eat olives to help with your vavavoom and to increase fertility. Olive branch, been used as a similar piece. So bowl of olives brings peace after an argument. It brings all sorts of, hang olive branches or leaves in your home to bring protection. Carry olive leaves with you for luck. Olive oil is good for anointing. I use olive oil quite often as a base for making essential oil blends. And I also use olive oil for dressing my candles as well, because I've got it in the cupboard. Although, to be fair, I don't use olive oil so much anymore. I use rapeseed oil because it is produced in the UK. one of my things. Olives, spirituality, integrity, passion, fertility, healing, peace, protection, luck. Ruled by the sun. It's a fire and air, and it's a masculine energy. So absolutely, save your olive stones, wash them, dry them, and you can use them for all kinds of magical workings. So yeah, brilliant. Oh, hang on, I got a bit ahead of myself. Trudy, could you give me the magical properties of avocado? Yum. Use them quite often left with the stone, which I'd like to use in spell work. Avocado is delicious, especially as guacamole. There's a song that the kids used to sing about guacamole that used to drive us completely nuts. So I'm not going to sing it. Right. Sometimes called an alligator pear, which, you know, it sounds so much more cool than avocado, doesn't it? Hey, I'm just having alligator pear for lunch. Ancient fruit. Evidence of its existence dates back millions of years. The avocado is said to promote beauty. I think that probably relates to avocado oil, which is used in quite a lot of cosmetics and beauty regimes. The Aztecs ate the fruit as an aphrodisiac. You have been warned. They also believed it to be a fruit of fertility. So much so that during harvesting, they would not allow their young daughters outside. Now there's a bit of a scary folklore. So avocado, beauty, passion, love, fertility. Ruled by Venus, obviously. It's an earth element and it is a feminine gender. So I've not tried it actually, but I'm thinking you could, I don't know if you could dry the avocado skin as well. I don't know if that would work. Oh, Jane, olives are like pretzels. Don't like the taste, but can't stop eating them. We had some pretzels this week that we bought just because you do, and decided that they were really boring on their own. So I crushed them up and mixed them with melted chocolate and made them into chocolate bark. Much better that way. Maria, imagine olive pips would represent, yes, abundance too. Yeah, absolutely. Emma, I use an olive tree as peace between the neighbours. Hate olives, but they love them. Keeping the peace. Yes, I've got a little olive tree. It had a couple of olives last year. I'm looking out the garden because that's where it is. I'm quite lucky actually. It's all right. It's quite hardy in our garden, but I like the sunshine really. So lots of things. Think about all of your things before, even things like, I've got a bag of rice here. I love rice. I like rice better than chips. Does that make me really sad? Rice is really good. I use rice a lot in my witch bottles along with porridge oats because it soaks up the negative energy. But this comes in a nasty plastic bag. Use the plastic bag to make a spell with afterwards because rice is... Oh, we throw rice at weddings. Why do we throw rice at weddings? Because it brings prosperity and fertility to the happy couple. Let me just find it. But you can use the bag. Anything. Cereal packets, the plastic bags that rice or pasta comes in. Use the bag afterwards as a spell container. So rice is prosperity, fertility, protection. It also brings the rain, should you want to do a rain spell. Rice is really grounding and it brings stability as well. Ruled by the sun, it's the air and the earth, and it's a masculine energy. But cook the rice. If the rice goes out to date, if you've got rice, flour, porridge oats that have gone out of date, put them in your magical cupboard because the magical properties will still be there. But use any packaging for spell containers because they carry the energy of the ingredient. Jane, oh, good luck today, Jane. Good luck. But yeah, have a look, have a think when you make your lunch, when you make your breakfast, when you make your dinner. Think about the ingredients that you've got in your cupboard. Think about the tins or the jars that they come in. I've got tahini here. That's delicious. And use the jars afterwards as spell containers. It's not only is it recycling, reusing, upcycling, whatever word you want to use, it's also using the remnants of the energy of the ingredient that was in them. It is kitchen witch magic at its best, really. And now I expect you're all going to check the peppers in your fridge to see how many bums they've got. So thank you everyone for joining me as usual. It's been a blast. Check my website for details on things. I've got an online book launch coming up in June. We will have some Kitchen Rich stuff coming up as well. I've got another course that I'm running in June as well with the College of Psychic Studies. So keep an eye out for things. Check my website for other details. Thank you everyone for joining me, and I will catch you all. Hello, finished sunbathing. I'll catch you all next week. Take care everyone.